John, good evening to you. This came out of Boston. A federal judge in Boston ruled today the $100,000 payment the Trump administration demanded employers pay to bring applicants from overseas to work here in the U.S. is considered a tax, and that the White House doesn't have the power to unilaterally impose such a fee. It's the latest court case that found President Trump unlawfully acted without express congressional approval. The policy put into effect last year upped the fee from between $2,000 to $5,000 to $100,000 per application to have employers bring up to between 65 and 85,000 high-skilled foreign tech and university workers to the United States each year with what's called an H-1B visa. According to court records, last year there were about 3 to 6 years that these lasted. The H-1B program was created in 1990. The judge today writes here, the substance and application of the $100,000 payment reveal that it is a tax regardless of what the payment is called. The higher fees were designed to prioritize U.S. citizens over foreign workers. In a statement, a White House spokeswoman says the administration will appeal and feel confident.
Okay, Shalom. Kwam Yashala, Koholoim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Chachachadash. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's all here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shai to the best of their ability. This is Yachana Nawach. Just coming at you with another quick lesson. I'm praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And as you can see here, these people are pissed, man. It says Fury erupts as U.S. brand fires 1,600 employees after securing thousands of foreign worker visas. Okay, so this is Xbox basically. Microsoft, a popular U.S.-based gaming brand owned by Microsoft, is facing fury after mass employee layoffs occurred in the wake of the company being approved for thousands of foreign worker visas. Because, you know, they're going to get that cheaper labor. They're going to get that cheap labor, man. You know, that's Esau, though. They claim to be so fucking American, bro, but they don't care nothing about you Americans. That's the reason why they ship all the jobs out of America, so they can get that, you know, that slave labor, man. Because pretty much overall, you know, China, shit, man, they don't mind making shit for pennies on the dollar. And then once they come back here to the U.S., here you go, you paying $1,300, $1,500 for the newest iPhone, and that motherfucker probably don't cost no more than about $30 to build. Same with your shoes, same with the Jordan, same with your Nike, same with any other name brand that you might you know, like or whatever, man. It's no, what is being made for is nothing. Then they get it here to the U.S. and you clowns, they throw a couple of niggas in a rap video, and then you clowns suck it all up and try and make it seem as if this is luxury item that everybody has to have, and people be living beyond their means, man. But anyway, these people are pissed about this, and Trump just been fucking everybody around. Trump got everybody mad, man. Okay, so it says Microsoft announced that it will lay off 4,800 people total, and 1,600 from the corporation's Xbox division, which makes and sells the dominant video game console. Meanwhile, Microsoft has been approved this year to hire from foreign countries 2,273 employer-sponsored non-immigrant workers under what is known as H-1B visa program, according to data from U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services. So they going to save some money, man. They looking to save some money. They don't want to pay you Americans no fucking $20, $30, $40 a fucking hour when they can get these people here. You know what? Where I work at, as a matter of fact, it was the Edomite. He mentioned it. You know, Edomite, he's been there forever. He pretty much about ready to retire. And then he asked me about somebody else that I was like, well, I haven't seen him in a while. And another person he asked, I said, well, no, I haven't seen him in a while. I said, but you know what? I'll try and find out some information, you know, about him. You know, once I go back to that particular building, there was another place in another city. He knew these guys. And so, you know, I found out that those guys had already retired. And I told him, I was like, yeah, no, them guys is gone, man. They retired. You know what I'm saying? One in April and one in May or whatever. And he's like, yeah, he was like, you know, because he was seeing all these funny names. But these Indians, they got all the, them Indians is raking up them jobs, man. I that's all I see now. You done went from Edomites to Elamites. Because they getting that cheaper. And he said it. He was like, yeah, they pushing out, all the, American workers, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, that's making that real per dollar money, and they're bringing in these immigrants. I was like, yeah, I see a lot of them. They done took over the show, overshot, because that's how Esau gets down. And when you think about it, you got a person that's trying to make money. They own a business. They don't give a fuck if the person that can get that job done for them at the cheapest price and it's quality to them, then they're gonna use those people. They don't care where they from. They don't care nothing about you Americans, man. You so damn American. Trump don't care about you Americans, because he making all kinds of deals, man. Right? But it says, furious online critics claim that American jobs are being unfairly handed to foreigners in an effort to cut labor costs, but the cost of leaving U.S. workers in the lurch. At the cost of leaving U.S. Workers in the lurch. Who else was that? I know here, and I just had seen an article where they got rid of they were GM workers. They got rid of how many? I don't know. It was a couple of thousand GM workers, and they put robots in that bitch. And now mind you, this is right after they had that big strike. They held out. They had that strike for a minute, and then they got all that money. But soon as it was only a few of those people that benefited, they ended up firing motherfuckers left and right once that new contract went through. And there was only a few people. Matter of fact, one of my neighbors, he just barely got in that job on time enough to keep his his job and that that decent pay. Everybody else got, man, they fired in the thousands. They got rid of all them people, man. So Esau's world, this place is crumbling, man. And what did Trump come in campaigning on? Making America great again, keeping America's jobs here. He done all those tariffs and shit like that for that reason. But there's nothing righteous about Trump. He been getting paid though. This nigga been getting paid. Let me get this one in Proverbs real quick. I want to come back to Isaiah chapter 19. Because Esau, he's that cruel Lord, man. This guy Trump. This guy don't give a fuck about the American people, man. He been cleaning up. He done made $2 billion or so, probably more than that. Them just the small numbers they talking about. He probably done made far more than that, but they at least saying he's made at least $2 million. He ain't even been back in there 2 years. Within the past year and, and a half, he done made $2 billion. Everybody else, nothing. They put in on those meme coins and all that little, whatever his coin shit was. Them people was fussing, because one dude I seen yesterday, he was talking about how he invested $250,000 and he ain't getting nothing out of it. He lost all his money. It was another guy. There was an article on, talking about Trump supporters that supported him in his little ventures, and it didn't work out for him. They lost all their money, but he gained. But anyway, this is Proverbs 29:2. I'm going to read it in the Amplified. When the righteous are in authority and become great, the people rejoice. But when the wicked man rules, the people groan and sigh. And that's what you're witnessing right now. What's going on in this article? The people are groaning and sighing because Trump made it seem as if this is going to help the American workers, and it hasn't. It hasn't, man. This dude, he came in with all those promises, and nothing panned out for you Americans. And these Americans losing it. And now they're starting to see that, you got a couple of... the only Trump supporters that's really hanging on is those baby boomers that's around Trump's age that been retired. They made their money a long time ago. They sitting on money. You know what I'm saying? Like, they houses paid off. They able to deal. But those baby boomers also, they're taking care of their children and their children's children. A lot of those older, you got motherfuckers in their 40s and 50s moving in with grandma and grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't afford to live out here. It was an article on that as well where I done a lesson on it where they was talking about the baby boomers are pretty much taking care of this generation of they're carrying this generation because they're not surviving. They can't afford no cars. They can't afford no homes. Here you go, you spending $1,000 on a car payment just because you got to stretch out the payment to make the payment cheaper per month, but you got a 100-month motherfucking car payment. Who paying for a damn car for 100 months? I don't even know how many years that is. Yeah, you got prison time to pay off a damn car and the car ain't worth nothing within two, because these cars ain't shit no more. Now look at the recalls. Look at the recalls. They never used to recall cars back like how they recalling cars back now. Right? So anyway, it says a great way to fix this is to throw anyone doing this in prison, said one user on X. Fire Americans to replace with thousands of visa workers straight to jail and assets seized. This story has been told countless times. Fire American staff and hire foreigners over and over, because this is your American way. This is good for you fucking Americans. Matter of fact, let me get this one at the end of the Apocrypha. This is good for y'all. I love it. I applaud it. I didn't want to keep this long. I'm at the laundromat. I know y'all could probably hear that noise in the backdrop up here at the most ghetto, at the ghetto laundromat. You know what I'm saying? It's in the hood. I come up here once a month, so to speak. I'm in and out. Ecclesiasticus 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy for his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And that's what we're witnessing. We're witnessing the fall of our enemies. They laid off a bunch of you so-called black women. They said 300,000, but I've heard as of recently it's up to 600,000 of women that's been laid off. You know what I'm saying? That don't have their jobs anymore. There's people being laid off left and right. Now the only jobs that's left out here is jobs that people don't really want to work. They like, you got to get 3 or 4 of them just to fit the one job that you might have did have that paid okay to make ends meet. So people are stressed, man. People are really stressed, man. They crashing out. Okay, so it says it is the fault of the government for approving the H-1Bs. Another social media user lamented, our government has sold us out of jobs at home and those being moved to other countries. Yeah, well, that shows your greedy ass American. These corporations that, they fly the American flag high as hell at these companies. They got that big ass American flag out front. You know what I'm saying? But when it straight comes down to being an actual American or being a patriot, so to speak, hey, it was your 250th anniversary. These people don't care. They don't give a fuck about you. Microsoft is the 6th largest beneficiary of H-1B visas, a program that is overwhelmingly dominated by workers from India. I just said that. I didn't even know that this was. I told you at the job where I'm at right now, those fucking Indians is running around. I see them all day long with laptops running through the building, talking in their language. I'm like, damn, where all these fucking people come from? They've been flooding the place because why? They're getting that cheap labor. And then if you notice, when you doing customer service, or customer service, you need customer service for a certain product or whatever you calling about. It's them in the backdrop. It's them answering the phones. They done took over all the call centers. Okay, so it says the company has even more H-1B applications pending. Yeah, they about to flood this bitch. See, so why you Americans, and it's a good thing. You see, while you so-called white people, you've been focusing on the so-called black and brown people, but you ain't been focusing on the right brown people. You ain't been focused on the right brown people. Them Indians slipped right on in here. You ain't been as a matter of fact, it's them and Moab. It's the so-called Chinese. Them the ones I see that's doing the software shit, the ones with the computers and shit. Esau in there looking doofy as hell. See? So while you was focusing on immigration and you was so focused on Jake being ran down by ICE, in the meanwhile, you've been infiltrated by a whole nother entity that you weren't even expecting. You weren't even thinking that, doofy. Good for you, man. Good for you. Okay, but it says the company, let me see, Microsoft has employees worldwide, but most are in the United States. These decisions are based on business need, not visa status. H-1B employees were also impacted by job elimination in the U.S. A Microsoft spokesperson told Fox News Digital when reached for comment on the layoffs. Well, now, of course, the Microsoft spokesman gonna tell you anything. If it's falling back on them that you're hiring foreigners and you're not hiring U.S. citizens. Every single employer exploiting the H-1B visa program said the project for immigration. Okay, all right. A lawmaker even called for a complete end to the non-immigrant visa program. This is insane. Legal immigration is a major problem. These companies, especially big tech, are abusing these immigration programs to replace American workers with foreign workers. Representative Riley Moore said of Virginia. No more. It's long past time to end the H-1B scam. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma cited the company's financial health for the layoffs. Our businesses today is not healthy. Yeah, because everybody falling off, said the memo from the CEO. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses. Here, your boy, I don't know what this guy got to say, but we can play this video real quick too, and I'm gonna get in here and I might can just pause this and throw my stuff in the dryer real quick and get back on it. Let's see.
This is one of the reasons why I personally care so much about fraud. I want to save every single one of you money, but I also want to ensure that when a young mom goes in to get some prenatal vitamins and she can't afford them, she's able to get access to them because a fraudster hasn't taken advantage of that program. Part of what we're trying to do is to ensure that these programs exist for the next generation. Look, just take one of the biggest federal programs out there, Social Security. People pay into Social Security for their entire working lives, every single day, or every 2.
Yeah, and that's something you may not get neither. But he's not talking on that. But see, this Sharma, they're an Indian too. It says some online critics, however, claim Sharma's Indian heritage played a role in firing Americans, given the percentage of the A1B1 workers from India. Sharma was born in Wisconsin, but they stick together. They don't give a fuck about being born here in America. See, one of those things, when it comes to, when they was talking about the anniversary of America, the 250th anniversary of America, they was all on Negroes' heels about why you won't celebrate, why you not flying the flag. They don't never ask these Chinese people nothing like that. You don't never hear them asking these American Indians nothing. When I say American Indians, I'm talking about these Indians with the dot on their damn head that own the hotels and these 7-Elevens, the ones from over there in that other land. They don't ask them questions about America. They go under the radar, and while they go under the radar, you stupid doofy ass Edomites, you're blaming everything on us, which is good for you, man. Hey, I applaud this shit. I really do. Let me see. So J.D. Vance, he announced Tuesday large-scale investigation into H-1B visa fraud. Well, you should have done that to begin with. Today, I'm proud to announce that the Federal Department of Labor has started dozens of subpoenas and investigations into foreign fraudsters who are trying to take advantage of H-1B1 visa program, he said during a press conference in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Well, y'all, didn't you do Doge? You brought Elon Musk in. They scoured through every damn thing. You ain't heard nothing else about that. All this money, all this waste that y'all supposedly found in the trillions from what Trump was saying. Talking about giving the American people $2,000 a piece and $5,000, all this, little stipends and, little stimulus checks. You ain't seen none of that shit. Only people that's been getting money is his ass and his people around him. That's it, bro. So you Americans, you deserve this. You megas, you fucking so-called white people, you deserve this, man. American jobs ought to go to American workers and not foreign fraudsters, and the Department of Labor is fighting back against it. Sure. Well, that was pretty much the end of the article. I'm gonna pretty much about end out. Yep, somebody says more outsourcing under Donald Trump. Americans losing their jobs from Donald Trump's policies and rule changes. Not only are you losing your job, he taking your food stamps, he taking your Medicare, he's taking your damn Section 8. This motherfucker, he don't give a fuck about you Americans. But he rallied on what? Make America great again. Make America great again. Make America great again. And you so-called white people, you was out here having a ball. I look at them now at the job. I don't see all that umph that they had before, because they was prideful as hell. But see, let me get that one too. We can end out on that. Pride go up before destruction. You Edomites deserve it, man. What is that? Proverbs 16 and 18. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And y'all prideful ass is falling real hard right now. Real hard right now. That old commercial, I'm falling and I can't get up. The lady with the life alert, she got the little shit around her neck. She pressing that button. See, it's at a point now where no one is answering that call when you press that button no more. You know, that's a done deal. Y'all out of here, man. Now, he's totally focused on what? This war shit again. He gonna more than likely try and slither his ass back in there a third term with this shit that's going on with Iran. And now all of a sudden Ukraine. He talking about giving Patriot missile building the bitches in fucking in Ukraine. So why don't they build them here in America so y'all can make that money? Come on, bro. Yeah, through, man. So let me go in here and do what I got to do. Hey, this is a beautiful, we're living in beautiful times, man. Hey, keep your head on the swivel. Continue on praying for the downfall of Esau's kingdom, because I pray for that every single day, man. Let them fall into the ditch which they have dug for us. With that, shalom.